What's up, y'all? It's been Bennett since I've been on. Say a couple of things and jump off. If it don't jump off, then I'll jump off as well. I wait till at least a couple of people come in here. Have a little conversation. They say conversation rules a nation. Let's see if that's true. You know my motto: 15 minutes. If there's nobody in here, I'll get off. If it's sooner than that, then I'll get off as well. If there's nobody really in here. So, there's one person in three people. If you in here, make yourself known. Hit the like button. Four people. What's good? Good life 615. What's good? You tell me. Nothing much. Just chilling on a Thursday. Jumping in, jumping out. Had some downtime. Hey, Reek. So we've already had two people. So maybe this might be a good thing. Is there anything on the agenda, excuse me, that anybody wants to talk about? I know it's been a while, just for everyone that knows and for the replay to let y'all know I reached out to Reek and I was trying to go on live with Shad, but who knows what Shad's doing. I've tried to reach out to him like the last three times I've been on live, which ain't really been often. So that should tell y'all he be doing his thing, I guess, more busier than me. But I tried. So we got two likes and three people in here. So what's on y'all agenda? The live is called Fumbling the Playa. So how have some of y'all fumbled a play, or has somebody fumbled a play with y'all, or have you did it, or have something happen that you regret didn't go the right way? Speak on that, or speak on whatever you feel like speaking on. This is just, just a random late night conversation. Still got three people in here and nobody's really saying nothing, so y'all know how I do. I don't get anybody, I freeze on out because I don't want to waste y'all time nor mine waiting for people to not say anything. Kind of calm. This is not, no, I know y'all used to me being, you know, boisterous and loud and kind of laid back right now because I'm kind of under the weather. Now we're down to two people, so somebody must have left. If you come on, tell your friends about the live so they could tell their friends, who can tell their friends, who can tell their friends. What I know about a player, it depends on what you feel like is a definition of a player. Everybody has different definitions of what they feel like a player is. A player could be, the professional version, somebody that plays for a team. Player could be, your homeboy or your homegirl from around the way. Could be all different types of things, and people can fumble the bag in different ways, or not even the bag, and just fumble plays. Period. So it depends on how you look at it. I too think how I feel about what I know about a player is, somebody that has different irons in the fire and they know when to take them out and strike when it's still hot. That's how I look at it from my retrospect of what a player is. That's how I look at it. Other people might have different conclusions. We're going into 5 minutes and only two comments. Have I ever played someone at any moment? Yeah, I think we all have. I don't think I'm exclusively just to me. Like, life's played us all, if you really think about it. We think we plan for one thing and then something else happens. That's getting played. We think it's going to go one way and it goes a whole different way. We may, you know, think something's gonna bad's gonna happen and ends up being good. Just like we may think something good may happen, turn into bad. I think it all depends. So yeah, I think we've all been played, not just me. That's life. It, so I think life's played us all, not just me, not just you and whoever else is listening to. That's everybody in the world been played by life in some form or fashion. That's how I look at it. Maybe 6 minutes in, there's four people in here. If you like what you're hearing or you want to talk about something, write something down in the comments. Thumbs up it. That's how I look at it. We have an, if we have anybody new in, introduce yourself if you're an oldie but goodie. Yeah, that's essentially what I said. Forever young. I don't think life is a game per se, but we've all been played. And currently, I don't think we're all currently being played, but we've been played before. And I don't look at like life is like, if you want to say life is like a game, I would say that if life is a game, I would associate it with chess because you have to be so many steps in ahead advance. You can't just be thinking about short term. You got to think about long term and the goals and everything else that you're looking at with life. How's life not a game? Hey Joe Frank, what's the best way for a player to come up or bounce back from a major loss? I wouldn't say life's not a game. How is life not a game? I said if it would be a game, it'd be a chess. Hey, I said hey Joe Frank, and then Forever Young said just like a video game, we play to level up. Some people don't play to level up. Some people just play to play, just be coasting. So you gotta look at it like that. There's some people that don't take things seriously, and there's some people that do. I think it all depends on your mindset, and that's how I look at it. And then Broadcasting Over said, "What's the best way for a player to come up or bounce back from a major loss? Strategy, strategize, um, have a good playbook, good plan. Nothing beats having plans, but you got to keep a good backup plan because shit happens. You might not go through, and I just say always prepare for what you think's not gonna happen. That's how life throws you curveballs, and you think something's gonna happen, and it don't happen. And I would also say just number one person you can count on is always yourself because people will disappoint you. Life is full of disappointments. Trust yourself because you can't let yourself down unless you're an idiot. The unknown's always around the corner. I agree. That's how I look at it. I'm liking the comments and the thumbs up. So if you like it, like person got like this live, but like Reach Shadow, hit the thumbs up button. So if you get the notifications because uh, YouTube's been janky lately. Y'all know that. So that's how I look at it. Anybody else? Thank you. Appreciate it. Just speaking from the heart. 8 people, 7 likes. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anybody else got any more they want to say or make a comment or ask a question on what they feel about life being played or life's a game and what strategies and do you live by and how do you plan and how do you stay positive in a negative situation? Some good questions there. People can think about, debate. I know I'm thirsty. Oh, sure. Nah, I asked Rick to see what you was on. He said you said later. Time, what beats the best time than now, you know? But how you been, Shad? What's up? We just talked about life and strategies and people being played and how life plays us and other stuff. Give me some examples on how people not playing the game. What do you mean examples of playing the game? What do you mean? Give me some examples. I don't understand. Forever Young. People don't. You said people play. Some people don't play the game of life. Some people don't. Some people just coast and like. I use an example: somebody that gets up, goes to work every day, comes home, let's say watches TV and does that every day in day out. They just coasting. How they playing the game if that's what they do every day. They don't have any strategy if they're just okay with working and coming home and eating and going to sleep. I don't look at that like a strategy. I look at that like they're just coasting. They're not trying to play no game. They're not trying to get anything out of life. They're not trying to do anything. They're just, you know, doing that. Would you consider that them playing the game of life or do you consider that them just coasting? That's what I mean. That's how I look at it. You got to move out of your comfort zone to have bigger and better. I agree. I agree with that, Reek. That's a good quote. Some people are scared to move out of their comfort zone. Some people are used to doing things for 25 plus years or 30 plus years, and the new scares them. So they used to just doing the same old because that's what they're used to. They don't want to mess up. They don't want to do anything that's new or get involved in anything that's new because then it requires new thinking. And some people are so set in the ways they don't like to think new or outside the box. What's up, Kala? J Just. Thank you for checking in. Hit the like button. Just chatting a little bit real quick for y'all. Yeah, they're playing the game to keep a roof over their head to survive for the next day. So look at it like this, Forever Young. What if they what if they're just staying with somebody and they don't have to work, but they're working just to pass the time? How do you look at it like that? Uh, Do you look at it like they're playing the game to survive now or they just coasting? If let's say they're a person that's living with their mom or their dad and They just working to get out of their house because their parents gave them an ultimatum like you can't just be here all day doing nothing. Will that consider being coasting? Or are they playing the game too with that? I say they're not. I just say that they're coasting. What do you say? 8 people and 7 likes. Thank you. What does someone else have to say on the example I gave of who I think is just coasting in life or hating on a motherfucker to make themselves look better? True shot. There's people that they're not happy with their life, so they want to cause confusion in other people's lives, or they're they just hate and be hating because that's what they are. Some people just like in chess. Some people are just meant to be pawns. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing to bash nobody, but that's the truth. That's how I look at it. That's the way to look at it.
What's cracking?
What's up?
Oh, shit. Yeah, yeah.
You on a
Yeah,
live?
Yeah, I know. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? How you been? How you been?
I've been all right. How you been?
I've been cool, Nice sugar-free phase, Trying to stay sucker-free in the land for the lollipops, But, hey, it is what it is.
I see you finally hit the line. I've been trying to get up with you for a minute.
Yeah, I'm not told Reed like 10:30, you know what I'm saying? But he like, shit, she on there now. I'm like, damn, all right. They let my phone charge for a little quick minute. But. So what's the word with Spurt? You're going to have to let me know when the comments come in, because,
Yeah, well, somebody just said something. They said they probably not educated enough on going to the next level. I'm sure if we was educated enough, we would all be millionaires. Not saying y'all ain't. I think in America, there's a lot of millionaires that aren't educated that got there because their family put them in a position to be there. There's a lot of people that um, are wealthy because of generational wealth. Has nothing to do with being educated. Has everything to do with that their parents and then their parents were put into a position that you and I were never put in because of the way society is built. Has nothing to do with education. Has everything to do with the transfer of wealth, distribution of wealth, and people getting loopholes versus what other people have been exposed to. That's how I look at it. I ain't my usual self. I don't really feel too hot right now, so I'm just chilling, shot.
Yeah, I was sure finna say something. I was sure like, I'm kind of scared of this Lisa right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to the wild, the fuck you, and you know what I'm saying, all that. You know what I'm saying? All that. I'm
Yeah,
like, all right,
she's still there. I just don't feel good. That's all. So I'm just chilling.
I know she's still here. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta bring it out. Cadillac J. Just talk your shit.
Here you go. You be on that shit. You be on the same shit we be on, trying to get somebody cussed the fuck out. Y'all be ready for me to go in on people.
Man, hey, that's Lisa Smith. They know, they'll know this. You getting people kind of scared, like they don't know what to do right now. Like, oh shit, is that really Lisa? Is that really the infamous right there?
You are a hot mess, shot.
Yeah.
He said he Cadillac said he cooling. He said, "What up, Shad?"
Going down. What's going on, Cadillac J. Jeff? Oh, damn. Yeah, use the background, get my shine on real quick.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Um,
that.
best believe I got a drink though.
I bet you do. I'm quite sure you do.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
if you don't have one thing, I know for sure you're gonna have you a drink. I know that.
I got to. No, but yeah, hey, yeah, like I said, people hating on motherfuckers make themselves look a little better, look a little greater, when, you know,
So let me ask you a
they
question,
really,
Shad. How do you deal with a hater?
how do I deal with haters?
How do you deal
I
with
don't
haters?
deal with them. I don't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? I let them do what they do, Because once a hater, always a hater. You can't, ain't no way of changing that, So,
So
I
okay,
just
so
let
let
them.
let me ask you a question. Let's say you've been
Whatever.
friends with somebody for like 20 plus years,
Yeah.
and you find out that they've been hating on you on the low for a minute. How do you handle that situation?
I just cut them off,
Hmm.
It ain't, I really can't do nothing else. They don't say it everything they can say, that means,
But what if they don't say
yep.
it to you? What if they say it to a mutual friend? How would you handle that situation? Like let's say they be hating on you, but they don't ever say it to you. They say it to a friend that's friends with both of y'all, and your friend comes to you and be like, "Oh, they said this about you." How would you handle that situation?
Actually, since you brought that up, I am currently, well, I was currently in that situation, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So the way I deal with it, I just let the other motherfucker know, shit ain't true, but you gonna believe what you believe. So whichever way you go, that's the way you go. I don't even bring it up to the motherfucker that hated on me, even though I know that they hating on me and, what I'm saying, hating on the other shit and other people, matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
I just I just let it be how it is,
Okay.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on that that special moment for them to like say something or like act like they really didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? And just like just throw it all out at them. You know what I'm saying? And then just be like, all right, bye. That's how it is. That's how it was. That's what you're doing. So I can't fuck with you no more. You know?
I understand. So
So.
one Forever Young said, he said it's sad to cut off somebody you've been tight with for 20 years, and Cadillac said cut both of them off. Mm. I think that for some people it's different, and for some people, they feel like when someone that's supposed to be your friend is hating on you low key. It's not that they're hating on you; they're low key jealous of whatever they feel like you have that they don't have, and instead of being happy for you because they're supposed to be your friend, they just jealous, and it translates to hate. That's what I think.
But but it's like this. Instead of a friend that was hating on me, it's a family member. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like blood. You know what I'm saying? So the situation is the same. Like if it's a family member, or if it's a friend that you've been knowing for whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if I've been knowing a friend for like 20 plus years, I consider them family. But when it's blood family, you know what I'm saying? Like saying whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it hurts. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they can't really, you can forgive, but you can't forget. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
I agree with that.
But in this situation, I really don't want to forgive, but you know what I'm saying? Like it is, it's always gonna be on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Every time I like want to say something to them about a certain situation or something, I'll be like, nah, you know what? Just keep it cool, keep it cordial. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? They'll get over it. Hopefully, you know.
Well, you're right. Some people will, some people don't. So you got
Yeah,
Mac Cheese said them halftime homies be dirty macking like a mug. I just feel like
yeah,
you said a family member, I said a friend, and I said I've come to find out in 2020 family, well even before 2020, sometimes family really ain't family. People fail to realize just because y'all share blood and y'all may come from the same tree don't necessarily mean that they're family because you got to go off people's actions. Some people,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, family's family. You don't necessarily have to like them or even deal with them just because they're family. That's how I look at it because at the end of the day, they're still a person. Before they're obviously they're your family, but they're still a person. And just because they're family don't mean you have to put up with their shit because at the end of the day,
right.
that's just the title.
Mm-hmm.
Because
No doubt.
they'll snake you just like somebody else in the street.
Yep. Mm.
That's how I look at it.
Quicker than the motherfucker out the
Sometimes
street. You
that's
know what
true. Sometimes family will snake you quicker than a motherfucker in the street because y'all family and they feel like, well, we family, you have to deal with it, and you don't.
I'm saying? Ain't got to deal with shit you don't want to deal with. You
And
know
you
what
really
I'm
don't.
saying? Mm-hmm.
You really
But
don't.
sometimes it comes your way, and you gotta duck and dodge and do the matrix on the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, man, like I said, it is what it is, man.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
We got seven likes and 7 people in. I definitely agree with you. And some people just, instead of looking internally or looking at what they could change in their life, they want to point out what's going on with your life.
Exactly.
Call from.
Yeah, Mac J.
You on?
Yeah, what's good? What's good?
So, what would you like
I
to
wanted
speak
to
on?
ask. Sometimes it's like I feel like it's good to just check them though, to just show them like what being a real friend is about. So maybe their next move be their best move with another person.
What do you got to add to that, Shard?
Oh my bad, I didn't hear you. What's that now? All I heard was make next move the best move. Yeah, yeah. I was saying basically, instead of just cutting them off, checking them on it and letting them know, hey man, that's a real friend. You don't do that type of stuff.
Well,
Yeah, see,
go ahead, Shard.
I keep it up. I keep it up under the cover. You know what I'm saying? I just up under the rug. I just leave it there and just get. You know what I'm saying? Like let it keep going. You know what I'm saying? So I can get more information and then be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like I might tell a motherfucker a lie just so they can tell another motherfucker, but tell the other motherfucker like, hey, I'm about to tell him this and watch him say this to you. You know what I'm saying? Then like, wow, like damn, like this, it really ain't in my mind. It's like in actual. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let me.
Go ahead.
I will say, I will look at it from this approach. Some people you are more I can't even get the damn word out. Some people are more willing to listen to you if you're willing to check them, and then some people feel like they don't want to hear or gotta hear shit you gotta say. Sometimes you just gotta let a motherfucker be. I see where you're coming from. When check them to be with the to be deal with the situation better next time they come across it with a different individual. Yet some people are just like that, grimy by nature. You know what I'm saying? You trying to check them to make them a better person. Sometimes you just can't help folks. Some people just ain't shit.
Or then, like, if you try and check them and tell them, what the business is, they'll try and turn it around and put it on you. Like, oh, no, say, motherfucking lying and shit. So it's like, okay, come on, not bad. Like, I got receipts on this shit, man. Like, come on now, this really going on, man.
That
Real
that
talk, real talk.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's where I feel. That's where I feel where you come from on just cutting them off and not dealing with it. It's like I just feel like somebody true colors come out when they get checked. So if you was on the fence, it's for show confirmation, on how they deal with it. But also, I feel like if someone hating on you but not giving you a way you could do something better, then that's hating. But if they give you like constructive criticism, like, hey man, you leaking right here, but if you do this, it'll come out better. I feel like that's your partner.
That's a good point. And I was speaking to, I know of a situation where they were supposed to be partners, and then it just, somebody was hating on the side for years, and then it finally came out like full blown. Like, how do you deal with someone who's supposed to be your friend 20 plus years, and you find out from your other friend that they've been like low key throwing dirt on your name when you're not around? So then, they're throwing dirt on your name, so you purposely do stuff to irritate them. Like, how do you, what do you do? Do you keep irritating them? Do you call them out on them talking shit about you, or just let the situation be?
Man, that's too much of a time. It's too much of an energy sink. I feel like personally, like dealing with that type of stuff, playing them games on them low levels. If you're trying to elevate out here, so man, usually I just let them know, hey, my principles ain't even aligning with communicating like that. So, you know, should you either change it up or just move on?
Right. I agree. And then, 20 plus years is a long time to, be friends with someone who just turn. And that's the thing I tell people, your friend or family member did just turn into a hater overnight. They've been that way. They just was something, just,
Yeah,
it
they
was
just
slowly.
needed something to bring it out.
There you go. They just didn't hate on you overnight. It's been there. So we got a comment from Forever Young, said you should try to put them on your level, but if they can't or don't want to get on your level, you should distance yourself from motherfuckers because they will bite you just to eat instead of working with you. I agree with that last statement, and sometimes you can't help everybody because sometimes some people don't want to be helped. Some people like to
Right.
complain so people can feel sorry for them so they don't have to level up. There are people like that are okay with being on the bottom so they can just complain about being on the bottom, and then when you try to give them a helping hand they get mad at you. So it's a give and take situation.
Facts. And man, some people be subconsciously or consciously addicted to certain emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So they always going to put themselves in a position where they could get angry because they like feeling angry, whether
Yep.
they know it or not.
Yep. Or some people low key like people to say stuff about them so they can have a reason to go in on them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I notice a lot of times too, it be people that basically they come around when they see you coming up to
Mm-hmm.
kind of leash off your energy. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you down and out, they feel comfortable, but the claws come out when they see that you elevate your life and things like that.
Oh no, almost definitely. A lot of people don't. A lot of people. I don't know where I've seen this before, and I know you guys have probably heard it too. But a lot of people in life, not a lot of people, but the quotas or what they say is, some people like you doing good. You just can't do better than them. Once you do better than them, then it becomes a problem.
Smile when you're down, frown when you're up high.
That's how I look at it.
Real, real talk. Yeah, there's one cat. He told me, big people make you small, small people make you big.
That makes sense.
Yeah, But
Definitely
it's like
makes
I like
sense.
your combo, you know. Yeah, I like the combo that y'all having, man. It's high level out here, and there's definitely some things that need to be talked about because I feel like the younger generation they kind of came up different, you know. Like they might do some shit that's like something that's kind of counterfeit, but then still think that y'all is cool because no one is ever telling people to their face that it's like this ain't acceptable, you know.
I
And I feel
agree.
like this, you know. I feel like this too. Like people hate on you because I mean it's kind of like what y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? People hate on you because they're insecure and not happy with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
they wanna do some shit to be like, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he's you know what I'm saying, he's kind of doing this thing, you know what I'm saying, whatever, whatever. So ooh, let me say what he told me like a few weeks ago, you know what I'm saying? Let me act like it's like it just happened yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Like because I don't like myself, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the shit that I'm doing or I'm not doing that he's doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, people gonna hate, but let them hate. Like, they hate and let you know that you're on their mind. So, like,
It makes sense. What?
yeah, yeah. I heard this one dude. Oh no, you had something to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, hey, Choice, we got some comments, and then somebody, split live barbershop said amen, and Choice came in said what's up, fam, and then it says split split live barbershop says because they was raised different, and Choice said the younger generation hell lost. I will say this: I call the younger generation GMO babies. You got to understand that they weren't. A lot of the younger generation weren't raised with the same principles that we were. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them were.
Exactly.
They totally different. If you look at what we were raised on versus them, they don't even have like. I don't even want to get into that tonight. It's they a lot of them are lost because they never really had any guidance. That's what I'll say to that. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Influenced by TV and you know what I'm saying, social media and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I was growing up, we ain't had none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? We just
Right.
had the older man, whatever, or, you know what I'm saying? Parents and shit to be like, hey, don't do this, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, get your ass whooped or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, these parents don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, grandma's is 39, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you like, you
Try
know what I'm saying? They
36.
gonna,
I know a couple of grandmas that are
yeah,
36.
right, you know what I'm saying? Man, there used to be other people would be parenting too. Like your parents' partners, if they see you out of line, they step to you and be like, "Hey, your parents wouldn't like how you conducting yourself." Mm-hmm. You get in trouble by them, then they bring your ass to your house, and you get in trouble by your parents. The whole nine, for real. Mm.
Okay, we got some more comments. It says, um, Joyce said a lot of them wasn't raised at all. And then, um, Spit Live Barbershop said because we thought we were smart. I look at it like you have a small handful that actually were raised with some type of sense, but majority of them weren't raised with any sense. Of like Shaw just said, we didn't have a lot of these influences when we were growing up. Now they have social media. You got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got Snapchat, you got TikTok, you got that. Then you have their cell phones. You know what I'm saying? You constantly got a monitor on with you. We didn't have all that. These kids got more stuff.
Call from Spit Live from the barbershop. The things too, like as far as to look towards for inspiration, like now it's just a lot of black people want to be either an entertainer or an athlete. So it's like, they be checking their moves on social media and be like, oh, LeBron is doing that, and I gotta change up my game instead of, you know what I'm saying? looking at a scientist or Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? Something along them lines.
Okay, you're on. Go ahead. We got somebody else new on the line.
Peace. What's good, family? How you feel? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Man, real good, real good. I was just listening. I just wanted to say, I this second time I called. Last time I called, I always listening to Cool. I think it's a great platform. And one thing I notice when I see is the real problem, the real issue that our society, and I guess we're talking about, the Negro American. The biggest problem I see with us is we're the only generation that don't want to hold our women accountable for their nature or their behavior. I think this is one of the biggest disgraces that I ever seen in my life, to see the mother of our civilization has really gone crazy. Our mothers is not understanding the mental trauma that they put in their children through when they see them put their big old butts twerking or doing the doorknob challenge or going out with their girlfriends, leaving the kids home. When the kids wake up at night and look for their mother, here come Harry or Joe is in her bed. One thing, when them kids grow up, they realize that their mother's a hoe. And from us in this generation of Negroes, we realize that you can never make a hoe a housewife. That's just like one of the commandments of thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not steal. So we as a generation and we as people, we as black men, we have to go through one of the worst sightings of the mothers of our civilizations, that they don't understand the psychological damage that is happening to the children. And when they don't care, or they just take on this nature that, yeah, I'm going to leave the house with some tights and some spandex, and I'm going to be loud, I'm going to be belligerent, I'm going to test the man and act like I can beat him. And then when this man knocks me upside my head, I'm going to put an attempt murder charge on him by calling the police. So now we're in a position where God created man and woman to be together, where somebody put some kind of notion that man and woman don't supposed to be together. Like we supposed is like one is not going to be here without the other. Like one was here when the other one was out. It was not here. Like we wasn't just made perfectly for each other. So they separated man and woman. So now you separate the man and woman, and then you have only the black American woman. Only the black American woman who is not being held accountable for her actions. Because I want to know any black woman who would allow their daughter to listen to a wet ass pussy. Excuse me if we can't curse. What mother would allow their daughter or father who had this child, brought this kid from, cut the umbilical cord, saving up for a child's future, and your daughter's talking about she's a hoe in this house?
Okay, so
Because
we
now no women want to go after these women and shut that down. Nobody want to shut that down. No women is going to. Black men don't have night. Like if you could say, okay, you hoes and all y'all over there, and all the women who's going to be righteous and up for, we're going to be over here and build our own village, because we don't see nobody fighting for us. We see Tamika Rowley fighting against men. It looked like the movie Wakanda. The best scene, it was the woman fighting against the man.
okay, so let's you okay, so some of your point I do you guys let me speak on this because I am the only woman on this line. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Number 1, you're speaking on the symptoms of a cancer. You're not talking about what caused the cancer. You're not talking about why. You're talking about the symptoms of why you feel like black women are only women that are running around
I'm
whatever
just
per se
saying, yeah.
per se per that.
What
When
I'm
I
saying is,
when
to
I'm
be
I
to
let you
be
speak.
clear,
I let you speak. Let me speak. You're
oh, I
talking
thought you
about
was asking me something.
you were talking about the symptoms. You're not talking about the cause. Let's talk about the cause of the breakdown of the black family that's been going on for generations. You can't expect a woman to act like a woman when in that instance has never had a positive reinforcement to show her that. Let's talk about, like I said, let's go down to the degradation of the split up of the black home. Let's go back into the 80s with the crack epidemic. That's one instance of it. Let's go back in the 70s when they started implementing, if you wanted to be on government assistance, you couldn't have a black male in the family. Let's go back even before that. Let's go back into when black men were asked to join the military, and then when they came back from, let's say overseas, and then they couldn't come back and have a family or use their GI benefits because they were black. So they had to live in the ghetto, or some came back with drug addictions because they were exposed to heroin when they were overseas. You can't blame and rest one thing on the black women and not hold the black man accountable too in that degradation. Because if she's shaking her ass, she's not shaking her ass for the black women, she's shaking her ass for men. And she didn't lay down in that bed by herself and have them kids that she's shaking her ass for and leaving them at home. Where's the father at? Why is he not watching the kids? So don't come on this podcast talking about black women and wet ass pussy when you need to hold the black man accountable just as much as her. They are a unit.
Well, I was just talking about. Apologize if I offended you. I'm just talking about more of the fact that what's going on now that we didn't see from our mothers. Like what most likely, like
Okay, go
for
ahead. I'm gonna say
women.
your point.
Can I say this, please?
Yep, you sure
Can I
can.
just say this? I don't really want to raise, the level of.
But
I don't
you
want this to
did.
get
But you
excited, but
did though. But you
I
did.
just all I just want to say, like when it comes to women being raised in like the new foundation, because I'm in my 40s. I know about the 70s. My mother was a crack. Um, I was a crack baby, so I grew up in adoption agencies. But I was blessed to have my aunt and uncle, take me out. Back in those days, it was always like grandmother, your aunts and uncles. If you know about the system, if you ever been in the system, if you ever had to deal with that from like in the South Bronx, how it was in the Bronx in the 70s with the crack epidemic. So I am living proof of the crack epidemics in the South Bronx, Castle Hill. So I don't know if anybody know how real that was in the 70s, the South Bronx, Castle Hill. I'm a product of that. I was in Lincoln Watts adoption agency. All of that. I got 9 aunts. They all was bad. My mother got green eyes and she light skinned with a big butt, so she was like the hottest chick back then. So I understand about all of that. But what I'm saying is the blessing that I got from my aunt and uncle was to see that in this world you had a choice. And women, and when you make that choice, and looking at my sisters from my aunt and uncle, those women was raised and they learned from a woman on how to be a woman. And for us men, we have to learn from men how to be men. So it's not really a man's job to teach a woman how to be a woman or how to keep a man. Women should learn that from their mothers on how to keep a man. And that's a woman's job to keep a man and to keep her family and to find the most honor from her husband and her children so her days will be nice and long. That's what I have
Okay.
to say.
So there, right there, that quote you just did was that is a Bible quote, right? So what you just quote, that's just a different way of you quoting the Bible. Number one, I agree with you that a man can only teach a man how to be a man. Same thing with a woman. But then again, that goes back, and you just said it. Your aunt and uncle stepped in. What about the kids and families who didn't have a backbone or didn't have a system to step up and show them how to raise a family or how to be a woman or how to be a man? Again, you are talking about the symptoms of a disease. You can only treat a disease if you go to what is the cause. You can't throw all that on a black woman. That is society. That's not the black woman's fault.
Do you think the black woman is the mother of the black man civilization?
Every person in this world all came from a black woman. We are the only
You're the
ones that
mother.
have every I let you speak, let me speak. We are the only ones that have every genotype. You can only get every other color from us. You can't get an Asian woman you cannot get you from a black woman. You get an Asian woman, a white woman, a native woman, an Indian woman. From an Indian woman, you can't get a black woman. From an Asian woman, you can't get. You see what I'm saying? We are the mothers of civilization. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm disagreeing with you is what you are trying to put on the backs of black women when it is a symptom of a disease. You can't treat the disease if you don't know where it came from. If I'm coughing and throwing up blood, and you only trying to treat me for coughing up blood, and you're not trying to find out why it's causing this, then don't. You said it out of your own mouth. You had a support system. A lot of these kids, these 90s babies and these babies, never had a support system because their mothers were running the streets because wasn't paying attention, or maybe they just bucked their family. Maybe a woman had kids and didn't want to
No,
take
I
care of them
understand that.
and
Like,
didn't
I'm
have a
very.
support system. But what I'm saying is, you're not going to
See,
get on this podcast while I'm on here and talk about a black woman is this and that when she ain't the one that made her that
no,
way.
I'm just asking you. Do you think is it time for black women to be more responsible for their behavior right now? You
Is it
think they
time?
have a
Okay, is
conscious?
it time for the black man to be? Is it time for society? Fuck a black problem. Is it time for society to stand up and be an adult? Fuck a black man and fuck a black woman. Is it time for society to be right and stand up for their own damn selves? I'm not gonna put my blame on somebody else. What about
No, I was
society
just
as a
wondering
whole?
because I just think that a lot of men are motivated by their women. I think like a lot of men
Motivate your
rose as
damn
far as
self. Motivate your
no,
damn,
I
not
don't think.
you.
I don't think
Motivate
it. You know,
yourself.
I don't think life worked like that. I think God made man and woman so like man can really go build the building. The woman say she want this and there. I don't really think. I think that we was here to motivate each other and then create children and then have grandchildren and legacies. I think that's why we all are here. I think we all motivate and bounce off each other. That's how things
And
keep
I
on going.
I
We
agree
never
to
can
a
be
point.
satisfied.
I agree to a point. But how can you motivate and multiply when society is telling you different? When you have somebody in your ear. Again, you talking about the symptoms, but you ain't talking
Because
about the disease. That's what I'm saying.
the disease, I think the
If you have somebody in your ear and you watching television, I'm not saying I am, I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying society as a whole. That's what I'm saying.
I think the real disease came when we heard to be in the world but not of it. So we really got
You
away
getting on here
from.
quoting Bible. You getting on here quoting Bible.
I think, and that's so. You ask me where I personally, my personal thing. I think that since we got away from the Bible, and since we got away from the teachings of the Bible, and since we got away from a lot of the things in the Bible, I'm not caught up on the fact that Jay wasn't put in a thing when he was in that letter wasn't there. But I'm caught on the fact that obey your mother and father. I'm caught up on the fact that, doubt is the only thing that would stop you from doing anything. Faith, the size of a mustard seed, can move the mountains in your life. I'm caught up on the fact that to be planted like a tree next to the river. I'm caught up on the fact that my cup runneth over and goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life. So it's things in here that I can do. Hey, can I come in for a second?
Go ahead.
Can I come in for a second? So I feel like, because I'm coming more from the game perspective, so it's on the man to lead. So it's like, I feel like you could never really fault women for, which way they move in this society, because it's like they get more power off of connections. So whichever way society is moving, a woman is like, she got to be a part of it to feel whole. So as a man, I mean, no, I don't like in the no. But, I think but, that in the game, but in the game. But check this out though. In the game, it's like a woman is coming, but is she getting an example of seeing someone have discipline? So I feel like by leading by example, we could get it back on the right track. But criticizing women for what they're doing, like I feel like that's a waste of energy, man. Personally, but I mean, I don't think I'm criticizing. I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question like, do we think these images of what these women is trying to portray, like I say, be in the world but not of it. So that means we don't have to take the contracts of showing our butts. We can be in this world and have a fruitful way of living, and we don't have to take the contract and say, I'm going to sell out all of these girls, and then I'm not going to be hot in 2 years, but those lyrics that I got is going to be manifested for years and years to come. Even though my career is going to crash, I'm going to burn out, I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna make a. You know, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's like you got a clean glass of water, then you got a dirty glass. Like you talking about a dirty glass, but there's no alternative. So it's like I remember back in the day. You know, like I'm 29, so when I was coming up, it was Missy Elliott, MC Light, Queen Latifah, right? So nowadays, it's like one female artist could come up and they run shit, but it's like, you know, there's got to be some alternative or a different option for women to choose. Right now, it's like you got to be Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, unless you don't exist. The sad reality I think we making is thinking that women don't make the choice. Women are the biggest choice makers in the world. They are the motivation of the world. There's no way. We all look for a great garden to plant our seeds in. That's why the hips, that's why the chest, the lips. So we look at that, just speaking metaphorically, we look at the woman and we do so much as men to please and to create a world for the woman, a woman that's choosable, a great catch. That's why we take on this alpha male thing. In the concrete jungles that we in, we go get the cars, the Louis, the nice things, so we can attract a beautiful woman because her garden can make us reproduce and we can have children and we can take care of our children. There's nothing greater than being 75 and seeing your grandchild who look just like you. I'm just saying that we're in a situation thinking that the woman is the most powerful thing on the earth, especially when a baby is made. It comes from the rib cage. You don't need Similac. You can put the baby on her chest and feed the baby. So we know the strongest entity in the world is the black woman. But she knows that, and she can make a power of a paradigm shift to change the patterns to say, nigga, I'm not stripping on no pole. And the girl who works at Target, when she comes home, she's not looking like she's a street walker because she's in competition with the street walker or the girl, you know what it is, who's in competition with the drag queen with all that goddamn makeup on her face. And now I don't even know who she is. She take that shit off, and I'm supposed to love this thing right here?
Okay. You got a point. So since you want to get on here and quote Bible, it says we fight against what? Power in high places and against principalities. That's things we cannot see, right? Right? So, excuse me, I let you talk. It says that you out here quoting the Bible, so let me quote the Bible with you.
I'm saying
you on here. That's what it says. That means we are fighting against an unseen war. That's what the Bible says.
Are we fighting?
We are fighting on against against an enemy we cannot see. That's what the Bible says. You said and somebody in the comments says that we all have a moral compass, and we do. But if you want to live your life against the Bible code, that I agree to some of it, but then I don't, because we as a people were introduced to the Bible through the European Americans. Before that, we didn't have no Bible. So what were we doing before our people were conquered and Christianity was placed upon us? We were not actual Christians. We were forced through slavery to become Christians. So if you're going to quote the Bible, quote all of it.
Well, if I was to quote the Bible and get into it, the Bible...
You are. You're not quoting it per se by word, but you are quoting it.
No, but I'm taking some things from affirmations. I use it as an affirmation guide. Because if we'll talk about the children of Judah, and it would talk about the false Jews, and it would talk about the people who was stolen land, and it would talk about the people who was taken from different areas, but will have favor in every land they go to. The LeBron James, the Diana Rosses, the Ray Charles, they will always have favors. The Bob Marley, the Pelés, they will always have favor in the land that they was taken from. So if I would use to talk about the book, I would go in the history aspect of where the true children of Judah and who they are. So I wouldn't come from a religious diatribe. I would come from the fact that the white man killed us for the fact of reading. And once we started to read, bondage and all the chains started to be broken, because now certain things we apply to our life, because now you're not a slave no more, because knowledge is upon you. And now after knowledge, seek ye knowledge. And then first of all, I would seek ye myself first, so I can understand the wisdom that was given to me. So if I would start to recite it and get into something different, I would get into different texts that you probably ain't really reading, and I would let you know where.
Hey, from what I understand, from what I understand,
that's not what
Akhenaten. But from what I understand, though, Akhenaten from ancient Egypt, you know what I'm talking about? He is the one that thing, you know what I'm saying, started about this one God thing. Before then, it was like they saw God and everything. That's what I'm saying. But Too Cool to Khan, like you talking about his platform. Like one reason I do like his platform is because he integrated the consciousness.
You said something,
you know what I'm saying?
You see God in everything. Say that again.
I feel you, but one thing I like about Too Cool to Khan is like he integrated the consciousness with the street culture. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, in my opinion, they wrote the Bible to control the black man.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand that, because once they wrote the Bible and you started to be able to read the Bible, you got out of slavery.
But see, this is the thing, though. It's like, but see, if somebody got to put chains on you, you're not really their slave. So until someone got you mentally, you're not really a slave. And if someone got you mentally, they don't need chains. So it's like, it's like today. People think they free, but it's like really the moves they making is what society wants them to do. But they think they acting on their own will.
I'd like to ask you a question from an American Negro standpoint. I'm really into being an American Negro, like chitlins, hog mogs. Oh, come down by the river. I'm talking about real Negro, like my people are niggers, like the Negroes, right? I want to ask you a question. Was there a time that you read about when they started to read and got their facts of being able to read? Did these Negroes create their own systems, their own banks? Did they create their own towns? Was they getting more prosperity than everybody around once they started to develop and read? And do you have names for those towns that was anywhere in the South? Was there anything like that ever happened? That they had to come and bomb because once these people started reading and learning for themselves, they got totally away from their system. Do anybody ever heard of anybody like that? Something like Black Wall Street? Did we ever hear that?
Yeah, I know about O.W. Gurley. He's the main dude that invested in Black Wall Street. But I'm trying to tell you, like black people, we had a greater history before. We had a greater history, though. My God, we had a greater history, like before slavery.
Question. I understand the filibuster, but the question is, when the people was not able to read,
I don't give a fuck.
Now they was able to read. Did they build places like Black Wall Street? Did they come out of the slavery and build the greatest and biggest and best towns? Did they? Yes or no?
It's a yes, because ancient
Egypt,
like, so you understand they had hieroglyphics. So it's like before the slaving, before it was reading, we had the word, my God. So it's like we're passing down knowledge, even though it wasn't written. Like before Columbus even thought he traveled across the world, black folks have done that shit. So it's like we have a greater history before slavery than after.
Wait, but that's where the foolery is coming from. Because now, as an ancestor, if my grandmother is 105, I'm gonna just dismiss her
and just go to the ancient gods? What about my Uncle Pappy, who's 200 and who planted them sharecrops over here? Is no respect for him? What about the ones who stood up to the people when them girls got killed and they went up there and they fought and they died? There's no love for my Uncle May and them? I gotta go to Egypt? This is the craziness that was going on to me with black people. You're over there, but you ain't gonna give no recognition to the one right here. And that's the problem. The more you help black people, the more help they want. They don't want to help themselves. So now you are going to dismiss my uncle, dismiss this person, and dismiss, the ones who literally caught the whippings and got died for you, you just dissing that, and you going to Egypt? Wait a minute. That's an assumption, though, my guy. Hey, but that's an assumption that you're saying that basically that you help somebody that's black and they don't appreciate it. Disloyal to the ones who came before us, not the ones who was ancient we don't know nothing about. You got pictures of your grandmother and your great-grandfather. You got pictures of them. You know what bloodline they came from, and you know them reading that Bible and them reading and doing them songs. And if you listen to them songs, those songs they don't have no author. They don't have no author at all. They don't have nobody who wrote them songs. Hey, I'm gonna keep it so 1,000 with you. I'm gonna keep it so 1,000 with you. Where we are now. I got you, bro. But are you just gonna speak over everybody that's trying to have a dialogue with you? Like what I'm trying to say is I'm Nigerian. I'm Nigerian, so I feel where you're coming from, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me. Part of the reason I even feel like I got confidence is because it's like I could speak to my parents, my grandparents, and they tell me my history. So you got to have knowledge yourself, man. You got to know your history out here. But it's like I feel like all of it is important. I feel like all of it is important. After slavery, before slavery, black history. So you feel I should know your history more than my history? I should know Nigerian history. I feel like it's incumbent on the black man to know it all. Like, I don't feel like you should stop at any point, personally. So in this world, you have enough time to know everything. See? Knowing your history isn't knowing everything. No, you say your history is all. As far as your history is concerned. Well, your history and what all comes to you is your people, your tribe, your people, your line, your bloodline. What is it? What's your dislikes? But there's no difference. There's no difference, though. There's a big difference. We African, my guy. No, they're not African because now if you want to read the Bible, people from Judah, we didn't like certain people in Africa. Just like Africa is a continent. It's a big continent. Groups in Africa did not get along. So you could be Nigerian. You didn't get along with the Tutsis. War was always. We have a concrete jungle and a jungle. Lions will kill this and that will kill. This is the law of the land. So why as a race, we can't understand that we're in a race to be great. And the race is against them. Even you as a Nigerian, you're not an American Negro. We're not down with you, but we are down with you. Not to say that we're not down with you. I'm not, you know what I mean? You see what it is right here. It's like me as a Nigerian, right? Some people come that fresh from Nigeria, they look at it like they looking down on black Americans because they're not taking advantage of opportunities. That's obvious to the Nigerian. But it's really, they're not factoring in what slavery would do, So I look at it at the point that black people across the world is at right now. We can't even have no separation as far as you this tribe, I'm this tribe, or you in Compton and I'm in Nigeria. It's like black people across the world is catching hell. So we got to stop dividing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even though I'm Nigerian, I still relate to a black American out here, and I'll stand with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not every Nigerian is feeling like.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Okay. Y'all been going back and forth on the channel. I had to call in on my own show.
Man, come on now.
So what's the synopsis? Because I see it looked like infamous Lisa Smith tapped out. I mean, what do you see the end of the dialogue being?
I mean, originally, let's see the title, man. We talking about fumbling the play.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So I feel like as black people, man, when we sitting up here saying that we can't connect because of little differences, that's fumbling the play worldwide because we getting played, you know, by being separated. So.
Yeah, I want to say, Rated Shot, he done went out his phone. From what I'm seeing in the comments, his phone died out. And I don't know what happened with the connection with, I want to say it's Love the Barber. But I've seen the guys,
that shit escalated real fast, dog. Yeah, real fast. Really I was like, man, come on now.
Ooh. Yeah, this
go out here.
Yeah, this would be another. I mean, it was good information dropped on both sides. I mean, you figure, black women don't want to hear, about, essentially a black woman getting thrown under the bus, and essentially us black men don't want to hear about us being, the cause of, everything in the world. So essentially, it is a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a back and forth thing, unity thing, but you can only pull out what is. It just depends on what individual you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a low life individual, you can expect, a high moral core, higher qualities, and vice versa.
Exactly.
If you're up on an elevated level, they're not gonna go to a lower level of thinking. That's just how that is. And, I guess how infamous Lisa Smith was saying, like, society, we're dealing with things beyond our control, far as, thinking about how they redline, districts where you only can live here, or, you got to make 3 times the rent to be in this area and things like that. So everybody's trying to make the pieces fit where they can, so I don't know.
Real talk. And I feel like it's like with the renegades on the blade. They're thinking they don't need a man, but it's like they're not realizing what, being really represented in the game really bring them, other than, like compared to being on their own and shit.
Yeah, that's true. But you think about it like this, that could be the same way, like, okay, she got with a man at an earlier time in her life, and, it might have been going cool, but then he really, he burnt her and did her wrong. So, she got some bad taste for men now, and vice versa with it. Some men that be hating women like that, like, man, she really took me to cleanse. I can't get close to a woman no more. This is why I turned out to the life, because, I got my heart broken, So.
Yeah, man, I say you got to just charge it to the game, man, because, once you cut off really trying to have a connection with somebody because of something in your past, it's like you ain't even living. It's like your damn life damn near stop, like pause until you even move past that shit. It's like you're going to be dealing with the same shit day after day, I feel like.
Right. I mean, thinking like this is a good analogy. Okay, like say you're out living your life, you're going to do your thing, you're gonna go out for the night. You're all dressed up, G'd up, and you're ready to catch something. But, you get bumped by the police for something frivolous. That kind of makes you, well, I'll say not all, but initially it makes you like, you know what, I done got bumped, I done got hit with this big ticket. I don't even want to go out and kick it. Now, some people got that kind of thought process, but other people are like, you know what, this ain't going to slow me up. I'm going to still go do my thing. But that initial, detour, it kind of throws a kink in your armor a little bit, because it's like, man, where did this come out? This came out of nowhere. But you got to keep persevering, even even besides that, you make some more money to, be like what's that in Superfly when he said, oh, you driving that one thing out there, and he said, the one with the ticket on it. He's like, I don't got to worry about it. I don't got to pay for it. You just got to chalk it up like that. Like, I got to keep moving. Nobody's gonna stop me from doing what I need to do.
Facts. Yeah, I look at it like it's just a sign from the universe to test you to make sure that they picking the right motherfucker to bless with, you know what I'm saying, the fruits of the fucking game. So it's like, yeah, spiritual war like King Sherm, be talking about that type of thing.
I was gonna say, so let me look at these comments. He said, I'm not Hebrew, I'm just a child of God. And then Lisa Smith said, good night, y'all. She said, dude was one of those Hebrew. Okay, that's right. He said he's not Hebrew. We don't believe we come from Africa. Milton said, are y'all shutting it down? If not, I'll call in. And Cadillac J just said, good conversation. I don't know. I kind of want to keep it going, but when I was trying to call in, it's like, I don't know if they put a call cap on or something, because it kept saying that, I'm busy. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to try this again with.
Yeah, it was like 4 people. I mean, yeah. So maybe it's like a limit on how many. Yeah, but it was dope combo, man. Shit, I didn't feel like calling in. So it's like, I mean, it's some necessary shit, but it's like there's so many wounds on both sides that, man, cats get too emotional when some of these little hot topics be coming up. So.
Yeah, but you think about it like this, from what I was hearing from what Lord of Barber was saying, basically, how he came up. So he's going off of how he came up as a kid, being in the system and, hopefully, had some family member that blessed to, pull him up out that situation. So, he may be jaded in that kind of way, you know what I'm saying, versus a person that may not have had to go through them trials and tribulations, you know what I'm saying, to see things in a different light later in life, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can't say either side is wrong. You just can't say, this side is totally wrong or this side is totally right. It depends on the situation. That's how I look at it.
Depending on the situation. I mean, I remember, just speaking from experience, man, I remember when I was, hustling, a little harder or whatever, a brother jacked me, that I knew for over a year, man, pulled the strap, all that shit. And it's like I had the decision after that to basically be like, am I going, you know what I'm saying, to make moves off fear? Am I going to be scared to deal with someone that looked like me based on this experience, or am I just going to, move ahead and still trust other black folks? But it's like I felt like I was faced with the decision, and it's like, I could have easily been like, I ain't going to trust another black person, and then bam, live my life, you know what I'm saying, alone. So, yeah.
But I kind of like that you brought that up, because that makes me think back to the situation of brother, because you say you're Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a brother coming up. He was Nigerian, and his dad owned like a convenience store, and he would do deliveries and things, but they were getting money, they were well to do, because I think he had more than one convenience store. But how he chose to live his life like he was a doughboy, but he wasn't. He was a delivery man for his father, but he portrayed that way in the street, so he ended up getting robbed. He's like, well, why am I getting robbed? Well, you're portraying yourself like this other life when you're really this person. Just be who you are. You don't have to, okay, people are going to like me if they think I'm selling dope or something like that. Or, some people are like, oh, I'm a P, or I'm a gentleman of leisure. So when you're really not that, just be who you are. It used to be a time where it could be players, hustlers, everybody know they're different. Okay, he's this person works. Nobody's getting knocked for that, as long as you stand true in what you really do. But now everybody wants to pretend until that real shit comes up on them. Like, oh, why am I getting, hit with this? Because you're doing something that you're not really cut out to do.
Man, it's so real, man. It's just like, yeah, it's just I would say the hip hop culture, what it turned into, and this whole Instagram, social media. I mean, these street cats now, they'd be feeling like you're not even in it if you ain't posting shit on Instagram. Like the motherfucking re-up money and shit. I'm like, man, dude, you finna get locked up. But it's like cats want to be famous more than, really just have the money and nobody know who you are.
Nobody know about it. Right. Like, you ain't doing it if you ain't showing nobody. No, that's essentially going to get you some charges, but, people are not understanding that until they get them cases.
And, that I feel like that's just a outgrowth of just the way things is moving as far as, like, back in the day, if you was going to mess with that street shit, like, you had to be groomed for it. And, like, the old school cats had to choose you, be like, okay, you could hold yourself. You could, like, at least protect what the, you know what I'm saying? Protect this stuff. So, yeah, we're going to lace you with the game. But now it's like anybody could just, buy a sack and then, bam, they Scarface.
Yes, it's a lot more that come with that, that they didn't show in the scenes of the movie. Oh, cut? Okay, now Al Pacino, now you say this and all this. They need to show that of all those movies. Like, show the behind the scenes when they're going to their trailers and letting people know that this is not real life. This is a set where they're getting paid to say these lines, but they just see the finished product and like, you know what? I can live like that in the streets. It don't go like that.
Man, real talk. That's why I like Ice-T a lot, because he put a lot of emphasis on talking about the consequences of messing with that lifestyle, like cautionary tale type. So I feel like anybody that really ever lived like that, that's the only perspective they gonna shoot you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not gonna inspire you to do anything. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. You don't need nobody to be rah 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 like a cheerleader about the shit. I mean, if you got a good partner that you don't teamed up with and y'all have your conversations that ain't publicized, that's cool. But anybody on these platforms that's rah rah rah, they're the ones that's backed by these alphabet boys that want to send young brothers that don't know to the penitentiary. So I don't advocate anybody on these platforms that's rah, 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 trying to send young brothers asking questions about certain things that's not legal over these airways, That's the main reason why I cut out certain individuals that said on there, because, they were getting too full of themselves in a way where it can be harmful for young brothers that don't know. Because not everybody knows that listens to, these conversations. They think, oh, well, I can just do this, and then, I fumble, then I end up, naming names or something in court. Like, I done been ace boo coon with this person because I talked to him one time on a call-in or something. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro, the social media is just a trip, man. I mean, anybody could just reach out to anybody. It used to be you have to, so it's just like it opened the floodgates. I mean, everybody got a voice. It's like, in this rap shit, I mean, it's like, if everybody could rap, no one could rap.
That's true.
So to me, it's like everybody with a MacBook is a rapper now, because the bar is so low. Like, people is, back when Rakim was doing it, it's like, okay, you're going to need some skills. You're going to need to practice. Let me just be a fan. Too many Chiefs, not enough.
You actually need to be tied in with some people that could really make these things happen and all that.
Exactly. Yeah, you damn near had to be the best in your region just to get on the mainstream level back then.
Right. With that being said, I don't even know how long y'all been on, but I just figured I'd try to call in and hopefully straighten it out before it went too far off the rails. I didn't know it was going to be like that. Man.
You feel me? Hey, man, shit, I already know, man. Especially being Nigerian, like, I just feel like, man, if you in America, shit, you a nigga too.
So it's like if you don't do something to like improve the situation out here, your kid gonna be taking L's.
Right. It ain't about that. It's all about improvement, all about basically telling, hey, you know what? I went down this course and it wasn't a good one. I want you to learn from my mistakes. I'm telling you, I'm showing you the way you can improve, especially if you do make mistakes that I didn't make. Hey, that's a learning lesson. Learn from it. Do something different. Don't keep repeating it. That's when you either end up behind the wall, 6 feet under, maimed in the hospital. No, we ain't going that way with it. It's about improvement.
Facts. I feel like if dudes came at women with that type of like from that angle too, they'd be more receptive.
Right. Instead of just glamour, glamour, glamour. No, it ain't all glamour. It's gonna be some ugly things that you might not be able to stomach. I'm gonna be real with you about it.
Facts. Yeah, that's what's missing out here, man. But shit, I just was calling in, bro. Shit, I know you trying to, get on the other things as well, bro. So we're cool though, man. Keep this stuff going, bro.
I'm glad you called into it because it wasn't my show, but every now and then I do have to intervene if it seems like this is going opposite direction. But I'm glad you called in. Hey, you see any of them shows and they say it's a hotline, call in. Your conversation is much needed. People will hear it on the replay. Go, oh man, Matt Shea was saying some shit.
Hey, okay, man. Shit, bro. I appreciate it, bro. I'm just, you built the platform, bro. I'm just a fan, bro. So, yeah, man.
Hey, it's about the people. See, that's what was different about my channel. I let people come in and speak if you got something, that you can add to the conversation. I don't want no detractors. But if you can add to the conversation, the platform is there for you.
Facts. That's what it's all about, bro. Giving the voiceless a voice, bro. So respect for that, bro. Thanks.
Most definitely. With that being said, we are out. Peace.